welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Paula, also known as The Snail Garden on social media, and I have an Etsy shop, Eva Faith, where I sell hand-dyed linen for cross-stitching. I will put all the links where you can find me in the description box below. This is my February vlog. I will put in a short video of what I have been up to this month and then come back and share my projects with you. I have some cross-stitch projects to share, a punch needle project and a knitting project. And I also have some finally fully finished objects to share. I am joining Michelle of Penny's Daughter Shares and Jen of Two Tall Stitches in the FFO Challenge 2023. And I have my first 5 finishes. These are the Love Notes by Brenda Gervais. And I stitched them last year, but only finally fully finished them. I have used a mixture of the called for colours and colours from Stash. I believe the greens were called for and most of the other ones I have used from Stash. And they are stitched 1/2 on 40 count linen that I have hand dyed myself. This is the colourway Hazelnut. And they're all backed with the same fabric. And this one is edged with rickrack. And they are all stuffed with my homegrown lavender. This one I believe is called Cupid's Cup. And again with the rickrack. Love Stamp. I just finished with a little heart button. Hugs and Kisses. And finally, the Key to My Heart. And I happen to have this key in my charm stash. And I like to leave the edge open on mine and fill them and sew it up. And to finish my display, I made 3 of these little hearts that I put matching ribbon on and filled with lavender. And I've been displaying them in this little stitches tray that my friend Nicola of Bumble Stitches gifted to me at Christmas time. Next, I was still on the theme of Valentine's, and I had this kit in Stash. And this has come up, I think, very pretty. And this is stitched 1/2 on, I believe this is Weeks Dye Works Beige. I just loved how these leaves have turned out with all their different colours of green. And this was a kit. It has come with the backing fabric and the lace and the little heart charm. Then on the theme of Valentine's, I stitched, I think it's called You've Got the Love by Liz Mathews, from Hello from Liz Mathews. And this is stitched on my 36 count Grey Skies linen. and I've stitched it 1/2 with the Gentle Arts Banker's Grey. Liz has started a Patreon channel, which I have joined. And this is one of the patterns that she has gifted her Patreons. I'm hoping to also stitch Always, which is a previous pattern by Liz, onto this fabric, and then have some matching pillows. And that was all of my Valentine stitching. And the rest is Christmas. I was stitching this at the end of January, and this was gifted to me by my friend Nicola of Bumble Stitches. And I have finished it. This is on my 32 count blackboard. I'll get it right this time. I called it the wrong name last time. And the pattern calls for the jar to be stitched 1/2 and the remainder 2/2. I stitched the jar first, and when I started on the 2/2, I thought it was too thick, so I have stitched it all 1/2, which is something I don't usually do on 32 count, but I think it's come out rather well. And I used all the called for colours. But to try and make the hats a little different, I have also used DMC 503, just to try and make it a little different from the jar, since I was still stitching 1/2. And because it was on a black fabric originally, the mouth and eyes were left blank. But because mine's a pale fabric, I stitched them with soot. And put my threads down before I drop them. I have this little chalkboard easel from Hobbycraft. I think it was in the wedding section, and I'm thinking that I'm going to mount it on that. I'll probably use magnets so it's not permanently on there. I think it will just fit, I hope so anyway. I next stitched Sarah's Urn by Shakespeare's Peddlar, and this was in a Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I've taken liberties with this one. I've used all the rather messy called for colours, which are all Weeks Dye Works, but I have taken liberties with the pattern. I've used the colours in different places, and it's not Sarah's urn anymore, it's Paula's urn. I changed the design on the front of the urn while I was playing with the colours. This will be a little pillow, and it's stitched 1/2 on Seafoam, which I have hand dyed. Now those are my only cross stitch projects at the moment. My next is Punch Needle project, and this polar bear, which was on the 2020 magazine. And this is my first punch needle picture. And he's not too bad. I haven't finished the back off yet. I don't know whether to turn him into a mat or into a picture. I might frame him into a picture if I can find a suitable frame. I had some difficulty with losing some of my branches, but it's not too bad for a first attempt at punch needle, I don't think. And this is all using DMC threads. And I don't think it's probably showing, but this is a navy étoile thread. But I can't get it to show the sparkles in this light. My last project is a knitting one, and it is the Oddments Cowl by Helen of Curious Handmade. And I finished it last night, so it hasn't been blocked yet. When it's blocked, it'll smooth out and open up the lace. And the idea of this pattern was you use all the little oddments of yarn you have left over. I have changed the design slightly I have made it longer, and I have repeated from this middle point the colourways all the way up to the top. So I weighed each little ball of yarn and split it in half. And luckily it just worked out. And I've made it longer because I liked one of Helen's previous designs that was quite long, and it makes it very nice and cosy. So those are all of my current projects. I then had a little bit of post arrived, and for Christmas I was gifted some money from my son, and so I ordered these Brenda Gervais patterns from America. This one is Rudolph and Friends, so I thought it was very sweet. Winter's Day Visit, which I thought was a lovely stocking. There's a lot of white stitching on that though. But I just love the idea of this stocking. And the next three are for Halloween projects. A Witch in Her Garden. I don't know if it's the right size, but I've kept one of my small pumpkin stalks, perhaps to put on this project. Lollies, Crows and Candy Corn. And it was Michelle of Penny's Daughter Shares who inspired these two purchases, because I saw them on her floss tube and loved them. And the I Love Fall most of all. Sticking with the fall autumn theme, I bought these two patterns from Patchwork Rabbit, Clementine, and I used to have a little ginger cat, so I couldn't resist this one. And Betsy's Autumn Bird and Acorn. There's a little acorn here. Whilst watching the two tall stitches, Jen made a comment which I thought was quite accurate for me. I'm stitching lots of smalls and I'm giving myself a lot of finishes to be completed. So I hope to have a few more of those to show next month. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my vlog and seeing my projects. I hope I've inspired you to stitch all the things. And I'll see you again next month, hopefully.